Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go with the flow.
And I'm the man that's always playing Maurice.
And we're back with another edition of the Blerd by Nature podcast.
Yeah, sir.
Hey. So what's up?
Well, man, how you been? What's going on?
I've been good for the most part. How was your weekend?
Tired. Just I've been procrastinating on the housework.
Yeah.
So I finally got all of it out of the way.
Yeah, got back to work, cleaning up the house, make sure that everything went good.
Yeah, man. That chore, adult life.
Right.
I'm so good.
Hey, I mean, it's got to be done eventually, right?
Right.
If it's got to be that weekend got to be to work.
Right. This is not the adult I was told about when I was a kid.
Oh no,
I feel cheated.
This is them responsibility.
Right. Oh man.
I mean, it's one of them things that just has to be done eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be a big P no more.
Right. You want to go back to being kids, let somebody else live for a bit.
Facts.
Yeah.
So how was your weekend?
My weekend was fun vibes, at least fun vibes. The paint sip was big lit. My nigga, I went out there. The second me and the captain sat down, we saw the peoples and they came around and we was like, all right, so start the drinks, keep them coming. And we had that small little table to have our work on, so we had the small table. They kept bringing the drinks. It was unlimited for like them 2 hours, so they kept bringing the drinks.
Okay.
We ordered. Well, I said fuck it, and we decided to order some food. We had this small bites between the shrimp and po' boy, like small po' boy sandwich while we was eating and stuff like that. But we was drinking some stuff. The captain was starting to feel that woo after the second one, so she had to chill a bit. I was sipping fun. I was drinking for the both of us at that point. So I swang some more, and then all the way to the point where we was finishing our stuff, and then towards the end, like the captain had when she was on her second stuff where she was ready to drink it, she was kind of matching for it the whole night, but she like accidentally put her paintbrush in the drink, and I was like, all right, so we're gonna chill right there. And then she kept looking back at it, and I'm like, it's poison now. Just don't do that. I was 3-4 drinks in, so I'm happy I was comfortable enough to be like, no, you good.
Can I want my paintbrush?
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna enter no kind of hospital. But regardless, Captain had fun. She finessed it as she should. She's the artist of it, so she finessed it pretty well. Like every time I look back at her and she was stressed, and I was like, all right, I don't know what you stressed about, because you got this. You got this. She had all the colors handled and stuff like that. I was like, you got this straight. You good. I kept looking back at mine. I was like, ooh, okay. So keep it rocking. But overall, that shit was fun.
That's nice.
After that, and everybody there was pretty nice. So it was a good time. After that, we got some more food in Harlem. We was walking back and forth all around Harlem, getting food here and there. It was real nice. That was a good vibe for Saturday, and then into Sunday. Sunday we went out with Lily for beach strolls in the Bronx. That was a really nice place. That was a good individual throwback energy type brunch. They had music inside and outside, different kind of vibes to the area. They was playing from the classic Brooklyn rappers to the sounds of like Today and stuff like that. Inside was more of the soca energy, and people was dancing and partying and shit. Like they had big chandeliers. It was good vibes. The whole weekend was like plans and getting shit done. Yeah, I talked to Donna beforehand, and she was like, you feel bored and you need to spice them up. So I'm happy I started going out, and the weekend was fun.
That's awesome.
Yep. I was being Donna was chatting, and I was like, I'm happy those vibes came through.
Yeah, I spoke to her earlier this week too. Got some info there.
Yeah. Oh, did your chat with her go?
Yeah, no, it went well. Talked about stuff, and yeah, it's based stuff I'm putting off, and just basically staying the course certain thing. Yeah. So
hey man, she got some good advice, and she tells it as is, man. Them cards is popping.
Yep.
She's fantastic. Shout outs to Donna the psychic. Always the good mama.
Yep. Donna. Yep. Vibes. No, always got a quarter weight.
Yeah, facts. Big respect. One day, I need one of them full on readings for me and Kenya through her. Okay. Yeah. So how was your so away from the weekend? How was your week been coming up to today?
It's not been bad. That good playing.
From work?
Yeah, it's been so it's been tolerable crazy. It's been not the week itself has.
So customers using their brains.
Yeah, it's been.
I guess the mere fact that people are starting to get more of their opportunities and movements outside. I mean, I guess it is what it is. How do you feel about the rapidness of the movement of everything? It looked like by the end of this month, everything big booming, because by like this whole week, people are out.
Like we talked about prior, this is all money. So
Oh yeah,
I knew it was only gonna be a matter of time.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a matter of time, but it looks like I thought originally by the end of summer things would have started to get back rolling, but nah, man, right before the summer start, by July, it looked like everything is back at like full level.
That's what they're going for.
It's crazy. It's like shit never happened at this point.
Yeah,
and that's some other buggy shit, but I guess within the coming weeks we'll look forward into that.
Yeah, and I guess that's hot.
I guess so. Yeah,
it's what happens when
because what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday? It was what, 86?
Yeah.
Ooh, and that was the whole stretch of the challenge going through that shit.
Yeah, turn on my ace like, okay.
No, it's that kind of mood already now.
Yeah, so that's okay. It's coming.
And how's the fallen situation? How's fallen been this week?
Well, you know what? It's been here and there. I can hear you that fight.
Oh, today, yeah. the whole rest of the week was pretty much good, but now it looks like today it was coming back with it with some kind of sense, and I was like, all right, dude, I see you out of here trying to crawl back.
Oh yeah, so the pollen has been high all day. Like I said, around the corner for a park. I try not to go out with the pollen this high, because I know even if I got the mask on.
Yep. Oh, especially that's like a trap half the time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I try to do a bit when pollen is very, very high and very, very high. So
yeah, I mean, I guess
see it on the floor, and
I guess it's trying to have its last stand before the summer starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do something.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to the second segment. I said we gonna chat on off the cuff. I was just gonna say we could talk about the idea of perception versus reality. What's your thought on ideally like perceptions versus reality? Like as an example, Instagram and people hiding true stuff from what they want to put out or mask like situations going on. Like perception versus reality story.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay. All right. So basically the front versus okay. So like I said, everything that anybody puts on social media, that is the rose tinted glass view of their life.
Yep.
So they show they're showing the best part. Yeah. That's how I'm saying anything on social media. It's like shouting out what you're gonna show the best part.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right. Nobody's life perfect. We all have struggles, but that doesn't make friends. So
yeah. And then on top of that, it's like when you're going through some struggles, it's harder to put things out for a person like depending on your look at it compared to other people. Like when you're going through shit, it's harder to post stuff up, if any.
Yeah, certain things shouldn't be out. Like I said, the way I treat social media is I treat social media as if I'm not comfortable with something right up my window or on the, I'm not gonna put it on social.
Nah, I get that. And then how about the idea of perception versus reality in the way of how people are seeing certain things? Like we'll follow up with it when we review some of the show, but like the ideal of a perception of like how some people would view America in a certain kind of way. Like the perception is that you would live let's say you live the American dream of how you work as hard as you can and you can get the nice house and the picket fence and the X, Y, and Z and you try and attain how good life could be if you just work hard enough and you believe in yourself and stuff. And the reality of it is sometimes you work as hard as you can't reach entirely all the goals because some kind of set barrier is set in your ways, maybe by your skin color or something like that. How about that perception reality?
Oh, America. Boy, I'm big one.
Yep.
Biggest one.
The biggest one.
The American dream. Ooh, boy. There are like 15 to 20 asterisks next to that thing.
Oh, of course. That's why you could take perception versus reality in a multitude of ways.
So perception, they show, if work hard, grind, you do this, you'll get this. Yep. Reality, it's not that.
Nope, it's not a straight street. Yeah.
You could do everything you're supposed to and still
big time.
And that's reality. People see that when they come over from here.
Yeah.
They realize BS. Like all that stuff they were telling us on the other side, or whatever propaganda I'm calling it was a bunch of BS. Because you can do everything right.
Oh, of course. Hell, think of the concept of people in other countries that are like doctors and scientists that come over here to be like janitors and shit.
Yeah. I'm like came over to be a certain thing, but the crap hits you and then you're in a position that, hey, I have this level of training. I'm up because doing this, I still need to pay bills. Yeah, you're perceived as some way or you're looked at or you're lacking something in some department while you're like high up in something else, and then you end up being put down the totem pole because of that lacking of something. And it's the little nuances of things that you don't find out. You're right, find out, you're alone. Can't do that, depending on who you are. You're trying to get something set up. Start a business, depending on who you are. We talking about last week about Sam trying to get the small biz loan. That's right.
his perception was that since he saved the world, it would have been easy. But his reality was, no, he ain't gonna get that loan because of some old bullshit.
That's right. Say that, man. Don't matter, kid. Don't matter. Save the world 5 times. The crap can and like will have you.
Oh yeah. What happened? It won't open your eyes until you see it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's a harsh reality.
Yep. So that's a good conversation on perception versus reality with that off the cuff this week. Now we switching over into our small subsections because there's been a lot that gone down this week when it comes to these situations. So we got big things to talk about as opposed to the other weeks where things seem low or things seem iffy. All right, real quick, we're going to talk a little bit on stock talk. So this week was a big situation because there's two big situations that gone down. Now, early on in the week, we had Elon Musk continuing this energy he's had with Dogecoin since he's been on SNL. I guess when he went on SNL, the perception was that it was gonna be that time where Doge was gonna go
to the
exactly. And with that, it was a slow turn that it was building all the way up to that dollar, slowly up. It hit its highest at about 71 cents. And it just kept going until Elon Musk was on SNL. So he called out Dogecoin for what it is a joke currency. He dropped some gems during there. He had his jokes, but the jokes were hit. And overall, he was just kind of an awkward situation throughout the vibes and stuff like that. And he kind of countered back and threw people off. With that, Dodge has been dropping ever since. And I just had a little bit of upspring and it's been dropping. So this week, Elon's been on his extra bullshit again, attacking the idea of Bitcoin. Because while he was attacking his bit on Bitcoin, he decided to take all his money out of Bitcoin and cash out. So during that time, he was attacking Bitcoin and Dodge was starting to have its shaky effects off that. So Elon was talking about all the iffiness of Bitcoin and mining in Africa and XYZ. His company kind of does the same thing. So in the midst of that, started to rake Dodge. We had the China ban now on crypto, which attacked the market I don't know it's ever seen in a long while. I think what was it? Either yesterday or 2 days ago, all the crypto dropped so rapidly. People was losing 15K, 8K. All this money was just flying, and it was an interesting concept for people who wanted to buy it because that was one of those days where it's are you open to buy whatever crypto you want right now? Everything is literally active, but it looked like scary sight for a shit ton of people losing a money. That was craziness on this week thoughts.
Yeah. You had Elon Musk throwing the arc.
Pretty much.
Flip things upside down. You had China laying at the ban hammer to the financial institution, and of course, because China is where most of the Bitcoin mining is happening, that sent all the crypto to a nosedive.
Facts. If Bitcoin's going to take a dive, then everything is going to take a dive. Bit is the OG.
Yeah, like I said, most of the cryptocurrency that mining is happening, most of the Bitcoin and the altcoins happen in China. So China,
have you heard the response in some of this stuff since Elon's been messing up? People created currencies off of that, like Asscoin and PooCoin, and I'm like, yo, where are all these weird ass counter currency shit just popping up from?
Yeah, so you got to be careful out there.
Yeah.
So you got to really look at
this. Shit really not a game.
You really got to pay attention to what's going on.
Oh, this shit not for the weak at heart. You be seeing your money go, and you gotta be holding strong. You gotta be one with this shit because this shit is a roller coaster.
Yeah, I will always say first five. Of course, just everybody's not financial advice.
Oh yeah, just do your own research, follow up, do whatever you can because I'm on listen to podcasts. I'm following more new. Ever since I got into this stock game, it's opening up a whirlwind of shit that I'm starting to follow like it never before. These are constructs and words and shit that I was never used to, from bullish to bearish and all this other shit that I'm just following up on. I feel like I'm more in the financial industry, just studying up than the time I was actually studying it cool in any kind of idea in finance class.
Yep, it's in times we're in. It's in times we're in regards to the financial market, how money is flowing.
Oh yeah, I mean, what was it? My mom told me during the whole pandemic, a lot of people was instantly losing off the 401ks that they were building up on. So obvious that you got to find other routes to do this shit. If this Social Security was about to burn out before we retire,
we're never gonna see a dime of that.
Exactly. So we have to do something else and ideal because we got to have money to retire on because this generation is the only one that's gonna feed off of that. After we're gonna have to find our own hustle. I think Gen Z is always hustling, but some nigga try to get rich off TikTok because we don't got no future with money. We work until we dust.
Oh yeah, basically we need multiple streams of revenue, and we can't depend on nobody but ourselves.
Yeah, that's why you gotta be greedy in these situations. And like, what's your thoughts on everybody? The battle between the work and workers not like the work not being done and workers being out and work not paying either a regular wage or they're finding like ingenious ways to entice people to come interview, like free food at interview sessions, shit like that. What do you think?
Oh, you mean the prospect of your job?
Like the prospects on people who are getting paid or unemployment, not interested.
Oh, okay, got that. Okay, so here's my take on that.
Yeah.
Got the people on unemployment that are getting at this point. They're making enough. They're getting enough money from government at this point. They're getting essence what is to them the people that are on a live wage. At this point, for now,
that are having to sell their body.
So their mindset is, why do I want to come work for you, potentially making less than what I'm getting now for killing?
Or not even that, not even less. It could be like the exact amount, only due to the fact that I'm not killing myself to make the exact amount.
It's a question of incentive. It's a question of why the path. It's the path.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the job, you want them to want workers. You're gonna have to.
Yeah. They're trying all tips of type of shit, like Applebee's, who's letting people try appetizers in the midst of their interviews to entice them to come along and shit. I'm like, just like people are saying, you'll try everything but raise the wage,
especially post COVID. Like from the business side, I did, but this is something that's been brewing for a while.
Oh the mass exodus of a lot of people at their secure jobs and stuff like that have proven that everybody is expendable.
Just the job environment, the fact that wages have not kept up place for a very long time.
Yep, and the sacrifice of benefits and benefits as well. A lot of places have switched over to the mere fact that you're doing part-time, so a lot of people are losing out on stuff like regular health insurance and stuff like the long and skinny of it is people went from full-time to a lot of jobs now shifting off to part-time, so they don't have to pay off those health expenses, so people are losing a lot of shit.
So when it comes to the point where they shift part-time, get on deployment, I'm mess with doing all this and I do this.
Exactly.
But this was something that was going to come to a head regardless. This has been brewing. It's been brewing for a while. Something that's going to come to a head.
It's like
there's pandemic stuff.
Yeah, it's like one of those concepts of like technology in general. It's like one of those if you're not going to update your the way of you doing things, then nature will find a way to upgrade it, and you either change with it or you're going to be left in the past.
That's one thing about pandemic. It exposed a lot.
Oh yeah, it exposed the mere fact that you can do some stuff from at home. You can balance out. You can make some amenities, or you can change your price on stuff, or you can shift around. Like it opened a lot of eyes on stuff you can do. It's just the options of you didn't want to upgrade at time, so you're now being forced.
Yeah, it's like you have realm tech, push tech work. So now you got remote everything. But now there's no Pandora's box is open. There's no going back.
It's gonna be curious going on forward on like from interview standpoint and how you collect jobs and X, Y, and Z on all that shit.
It push people forward too to a degree because it's like, hey, you can lose your job. Listen, I ain't guaranteed. I'm gonna do what I want.
That and a lot of
I'm taking a chance on myself.
And that and a lot of stuff economy is probably gone now too. People who could take days off or stuff like that, they're probably gonna tell you hop on a Zoom real quick and do that. So it's like you lose on so much things that you probably don't have a space to yourself anymore. Because like even if you're not there, you can be there in some sense now.
But that just comes with self-management and time. You gotta learn what say, hey, I ain't done day. No, it's my day off. I'm not doing.
Yeah, the power of the word no is gonna be very strong coming.
Yeah,
like they're doing now when they're choosing themselves over these jobs.
But I think people have kind of gotten a hold of what that like for being remote, work from home, learning how to split your day, your work day, and your home life, and basically integrating them, and then learning how to split way. So I think as go forward, and I normal people will say, okay, look, this is what I'm scheduled. This is when I'm here to work through this time in this block. I'll put on my calendar time. Don't podcast nothing. So I ain't come. Put something up there. I'll be there. You be there by yourself. A little Zoom square somewhere.
I agree. So that's a little chat on basically news, stock talk, and everything that's going on with that. Now we're gonna cross over into our reboot talk because man, this week I don't know if it was a situation with the Turner Broadcasting Network or TNT, but they were chatting all business when it came to stuff, when it came to wrestling, when it came to HBO Max and the TV shows and shit shit that came out. So we have a boom of stuff that's right on the horizon. Now, on the reboot news I got in my list, we have some new information. We got the new trailer on the Wonder Years that we talking about with the Black reboot on Wonder Years, where Don Cheadle is the narrator. Basically, to me, that concept lays into to basically the Goldbergs concept of TV show, only just kind of the black version off of that. We got a spinoff for Rick and Morty coming up from the inside of the show, getting spinoff of their superheroes. We got Hocus Pocus 2, the sequel being announced, finally confirmed after all these years of coming out next year as well. We got a new animated Superman and Batman shows coming along the way. The Addams Family has found their new Wednesday for the Netflix for the Netflix reboot on that. We got Monsters Inc., the TV series coming into Disney Plus coming soon in about 2 months. And then we got and those were kind of the big highlight news is of this week, just being added and just dropped all left, right, and center. So which one of these reboots you want to tackle a little conversation on?
Well, we tackle with the first.
All right, so let's chat on the one of these because I'm less familiar with the show just in general. I'm just knowing about this now as through kind of the Black reboot, and the trailer got me interested. So just tell me a little bit on the Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years is basically a class family show about the life of a typical Caucasian American family around probably the 50s or 60s.
Okay.
Talk about basic life, suburban life.
So how do you think it's gonna deal in the flip side of this Black family going further? You think they're gonna stay in the same 50s and 60s era?
I don't think that. After if they want to, you know what? So the Wonder Years of that feel good. Oh, this is not Partridge Family type deal.
I don't know how they're gonna do that with the 50s and 60s.
I'm not a fan because I don't see how you can do this.
Not with a Black family in the 50s and 60s. It'll be all happy until they go outside and then
that's what I'm saying. And
this is ABC, so I don't know how fast somebody about to throw the N-word around real quick.
So this I not like. If they should have killed something. I don't like this as a.
Do you think it's pandering?
Of the one, huh?
Do you think it's pandering?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
Don't like concept. Don't like the reboot. You know my stance on this. If you're gonna make a show like this, something new, don't swap and flip just cause.
I got you there. Hey, I was not even fully interested. I kept following the news for as long as they put it out, but I have not seen an episode of Wonder Years from beforehand, so I really had nothing to really gauge off of. So just going into it when the show premieres, I'll check it out because the trailer had me curious about what's going forward, and I already take that similar type with. I already watched the Goldberg, so it basically gave me the literal same vibes on the same energy and the same stuff going on. So I'll check out what they try to do with this shit to see what their element of like this could be another idea of what we talk about with perception versus reality, because the way how they writ the show, especially if it's in that same timeline and it doesn't follow up on the same dark themes of what would really happen in the 50s and 60s to a Black family in suburbia, I mean, that would definitely be perception versus reality because then they're telling a lie.
Yep, that's why I said I'll see how it shakes out, but my thought is that could have not a remake, something new, call it something else, make it from the ground up. But yeah, because they're doing a reboot, there's certain they're kind of boxed up because of the original. And that's why I like.
Got you. Now, what's your thoughts on since we're both of the similar vibes when it comes to because back in the day, did you used to watch the animated Superman and Batman cartoons?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this reboot? There's been a time for a long time coming. People have always been asking for new stuff on the level of the Batman Adventures back throwback that they used to have on the TV series and with Bruce Timm back in voice roles and stuff like that. So this is a concept bringing back all the heavy hitters to bring on the new reboot for Superman and Batman. How you think these vibes are about going in the new era?
So Superman, what I really concerned with?
Yeah, Superman was always just there, but when they had the crossover team up, that's when shit started getting interesting. I mean, a couple years ago, I used to run the whole series of the classic Batman back, and that shit still hold up.
The Batman ones. See, when I think of the Batman ones, I think of the 9th Batman cartoon, and those are really good.
Yeah, that's a bigger thing for this generation as well.
My expectation for that always getting really, really high. Same as it was for like DuckTales. They did that. They did just that.
It's all about who's putting in the heart.
So I have high expectations, but I am overly cautious every time they do a reboot of a good animated series from that era.
Yeah, I agree. Especially the way how people hold Batman so astute and so high and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I can see that right now playing in my head, it's just so good. Like, don't mess it up.
It's the concept of of things happening after like the demand has been so high for years. Like I'm looking at two of these names, like Monsters Inc. the TV series and Hocus Pocus. It makes me think of the mere fact that, you know how this year we got Coming to America 2 and a lot of people hating it, and that was like after 30 years they came out with this, and it was like it could stand up to the original and X, Y, and Z. It makes you think. I'm so curious about, because so many people have asked for the sequel of Hocus Pocus for so long, and then got the team coming back together and stuff like that. You're gonna feel real bad if the whole team comes back together and things is good, but then by the time the sequel come out, shit ain't feeling right, because it's a new generation. It's a new kind of jokes, new concepts that gotta put in just because it's gotta flow with a new generation, and then people end up not liking the sequel because it flows more into a modern era.
And that's the thing. Some of these shows were a product of era.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting for them to follow up.
So you remember when we reviewed Married with Children? That was definitely a product of era.
Oh hell yeah.
So bringing something to the modern era, something that was from a civic era, doesn't always work.
Yeah, I mean, I think of the concept also of the Muppets. There was a situation with the Muppets that people didn't like the new show of the Muppets that came out like sometime last year, because it was the concept of them doing video chat and Zoom calls and everything in a time where people was heavy focused on Zoom, so people was already zoomed out, so they saw the Muppets doing that shit and they was already sick of it.
You gotta read the room. You have to read the world when you're doing things that nature. And it's a little nuances, especially with the Muppets. They've been around so long, and they've been through a whole bunch of
they've tried so many reboots with the Muppets.
Keeping them modern, fine, but you gotta take your time, modernize the Muppets and bringing them to current reality. Stuff with Zoom, you may not like it. That's time for it.
Yeah, so sometimes you gotta accept it. That's what I always say when stuff gets modernized and people start to do either current dances or people get upset where shows start focusing on smartphones and everything. But I'm like, we as a society deal with smartphones and stuff like that, so you gotta accept it in your TV show.
But I guess it's because people use entertainment as an escape, so you gotta still that balance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to work with it. You got to work outside the box with it, and I guess that's just how you're gonna work with it. I'm so curious about this Monsters Inc. How they gonna do this, because people have been waiting for any sequel of the 2004 classic for a minute, and this TV series focuses on life outside of the 2004 series. So I could see concepts of modern, X, Y, and Z coming up in this just popping up. So I'm curious on how that's gonna be focused on as well.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't know what happened to Kitty.
Yeah, exactly. So we gonna see how they are as bosses continuing on that line and stuff like that. And I also feel like I love how that has been a concept in people's minds for so long, that when they started making when information about the show started to come out, it was one of those, all right, I'll believe it when I see it situations. And then out of nowhere they popped up with the teaser trailer, and then shit is dropping like in 2 months, and I was like, this feels like something that should have been cooked up for like a while. Like people dropped the teaser trailer like a year in advance talking about Monsters Inc. New Monsters Inc. content about to drop. I feel like when they dropped the teaser trailer like yesterday, I was like, okay, this is kind of out of nowhere.
Hey, sometimes a ghost drop is great.
Oh yeah, no, it's an interesting concept, but it's one of those things where I said I'll believe it when I see it, because people have been lying about it for so long. So when the actual teaser trailer and the listing of the voice casting like roster dropped, I was like, okay, this proves that people had time. People was dropping voice notes on Zoom and stuff like that, and everybody was coming together, and they dropped these voice roles, and they seem more than ready. And I was taken aback. I was like, oh, this is actually happening.
It's a thing.
Hey man, I'm big up respect to that. So that was a good chat on reboots and stocks and stuff like that. It's our small little pattern, but a lot of things happen. We had to take up a concept on this week and stuff. But time for the main event. It's time for a shot of Kurosake this week. We will dive into the ultra controversial of this year apparent anime now. We about to jump into this Yasuke anime that's dropped just recently off of Netflix. All right, so a little concept before we go in.
So hit us.
Like I said before, it dropped this year, created by LaShawn Thomas, who was a creator of another anime series known as Cannon Busters. He had his debut with cultured style anime with Cannon Busters, showing black leads and stuff like that. Help from Studio Mappa about their not their level A production team, but more like a level B. It stars Lakeith Stanfield, actor award winner, just mixing out for the ideally first time on his role doing voice act clips and stuff like that. The story that takes historical information, adds anime liberties to all of it. This Netflix original anime, Flying Lotus is the poser on the music that gives us gem standing on thing. Just as a concept, you could tell LaShawn Thomas is like he's a anime connoisseur. He's a fan here, stepping his toes in here and out here because he's definitely put in his anime a likeness of modern era. Like Cannon Busters was a feel towards a 90s era when it came to classics like a mixture of Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Outlaw Star, where that mixed in, and then you got Yasuke taking on a form of maybe a whole mixture of 90s anime when it came to swords battles and mechs and all this other stuff that we'll get into when we get into the episode.
Yeah, we're gonna dive that. I thought.
Oh, definitely. So start us off with episode 1, Ronin.
Okay, so we got episode 1, Ronin.
Yep.
So the episode starts with a little narration about feudal era.
Yep. It was 150 years of feudal chaos. Yep. 3 warriors arose to rule. Oda Nobunaga laid claim to the top, and power struggle begins. We had 1582 Kyoto.
All right, so we got all this nice animation. Got all Bible, we got all sword.
Yep.
I'm okay. I'm here for action. Let's go.
I mean, if stuff is gonna start off with heavy fighting, we jump right into it. We got samurais dead all over. We open to mech and firepower and magical spells between the two factions and stuff like that. They threw you into this concept, so already off rip, if you thought this was just gonna be like a legit historical representation of a regular samurai anime, it shit threw you right in for a loop. You see mechs, you see magics, you wondering what kind of era, what the hell's going on, especially with the mechs. You like, all right, this 1582, what kind of robot super machines and shit going down?
I'm gonna say here, this was the first that we'll probably have our first class.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what?
Oh no, this it opened with action, but I came in here not thinking. I thought, like, because I knew the guy coming in with Cannon Busters from before, that he didn't throw in exactly what you thought it was. I didn't think I didn't know what to expect from this, because I know Yasuke was dropping like a whole bunch of information because people are finding out about Black Samurai from Rip. So I don't know what's full on story that we are getting the concept of. So when they opened with all this mech stuff and all this junk, first thing I noticed was, all right, shit is full of action, because I didn't come in here expecting straight up off the rip with all this history shit. So I wasn't really fucking with the mech, but I wasn't looking for a big problem, which I was thinking they was going to explain the concept of something going on. But all this bullshit was going down, so I'm like, all right, there's action. My first concept is, my thought is, for a casual viewer who's coming here without a concept of anime in general, they're watching action. Okay, this is a way to pull people. This is one of those bullshit that you got to turn your brain off. But yeah, it's definitely one of the bullshit.
I like the fact that I already went Cannon Busters. I was already this is my first.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
oh, this one picked off the entire anime base, because there are people full of who've watched anime before. So this coming rip off the concept, people are like, what the fuck is going on? What is this?
Yeah, I did not like mech. I was like, why are they here? We're in Japan.
1582. And it's one thing to start off with no explanation as well.
Yeah, right from the jump, we see dudes fighting with sword, fight sword. Then we see this mech come out of no like dude have.
Yeah.
And then
we have magic and dark spirits and everything, and we're like, the blurb did not explain what this as a concept is. So we're coming in here with magic spells and powers and stuff like that, where we're thinking we're gonna get like regular samurai cutting and shit like that, like Rurouni Kenshin. I mean, it dabbled in some of the voodoo dark arts and stuff like that, but this was all mystical energy bending powers. Like a guy picked up a freaking arrow and he shot back, like he squeezed it and he got like 1,000 arrows busted out, and you're like, all right, where did you get that?
Yeah, it did not fit high.
No, not at all, not even close.
And so that typically I don't wait by like this. Usually I'm there watching, okay, where they going with this, but this just annoying round jump.
Oh yeah, you and a whole bunch.
So we go through that. Like you said, we had the sorcerers, the magician. They opened the portals. The archers shot their arrow. The portal that the sorcerers had opened, they turned their arrow laser projectile.
Yeah, which was already, I was as Dragon Ball Z as you could feel. So we had the endless hordes of demon samurais coming to destroy the land. Shit's all a mess. Big class. It was a big class to open the show and kind of set the tone. Which, if you already pissed off by the tone, you ain't about to fuck with this show.
Whew, man. So we get all of that. The battle's going on. So shot the laser projectile arrow. Other side, put up a big block shield, basically blocking all the projectiles. That sorcerer used that the arrows after the fact, turned up projectiles once again, and shot them right through the stomach of the mech. Pretty much take back out.
See, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. There's a lot of what the fuck.
Trying to do with Yasuke?
Yeah. That's a big, lovely question. So we move on to the concept of all this shit going down, and we shift over to Hanyo-ki Temple. We're there with Yasuke and Oda together. Oda, we're already seeing Oda towards the pissy drunk side of himself. Some shit has gone down, and we see our first image of Yasuke and Oda just together. He's chilling over there talking about he's felt betrayed, feel down, homie drunk. Yasuke ready for the final battle. He ready to fight with his captain. He ready to go down with the ship. And you got the captain ready to call it quits, and he talking all kinds of dicey shit. And then right when Yasuke ready to defend the place and looking for a plane and shit going down, Oda Nobunaga starts doing senpaku and stabbing himself in the gut, talking about I'm tapped out, I'm already ready to go. He stabs and starts to slice himself up. Talk about Yasuke, you've been a good soldier. I'm calling it quits. Too many people betrayed me. So you're already getting a bad concept of Oda Nobunaga, who's already tapping out in front of his own general. So everybody leaving this black man behind to get burned in a damn thing. So you like, all right, what the hell's about to go down? Are we about to see this man fight mechs, demons, and all this shit coming down at the door? So what's going on here?
So just to preface this, people, all of this that we have just described happened the first 5 minutes.
Yes, literally.
As we were saying, he was there with his Lord. Yasuke is trying to plot way fight back. His Lord is like, come drunk.
Like, bro, what you doing? There's demons and mechs outside. Imagine being in 1582 trying to get this concept in your brain. There's niggas shooting demon energy and there's robots that shoot. You don't even know what the hell a robot is. What is that? You don't even got a car.
Yasuke is like, what do you mean celebrate, son? We lost the war. Places burned up around us.
Bro, I'm the only one here. All the generals are gone. Everybody's outside. I'm the only one here. Bro, like, what do you mean drunk?
And the Lord is like, Yasuke, what do you drink? That's like,
he's like, this mother.
He's like, this is the bullshit right here.
That ass. So what are we going to do? And then all you hear is him groaning in the background. What you mean groaning? And he turn around, what you stab yourself for?
And it's like, Yasuke, he's like, do it.
Listen, the moment Oda Nobunaga started stabbing himself, you should have heard the background song of Everybody Hates Chris. Because at that point, that nigga by himself.
And then he was like, do it. And so, no, it wasn't shown. We assumed they cut off head.
Yeah, because they didn't show off that whole scene of that. And in that middle of that, you see him wake up out of that dream state. So at the bottom, it says that 20 years has passed since that time, which you got to start to think in your head. So 20 years past that time, how the fuck did he get out of this?
Exactly. Well, maybe he followed his plan that trying to tell the Lord didn't want to listen.
Yeah, because it looked like, all right, so if I survived unscathed with all this shit going on outside, you could have came with me, dude.
Right? Like, well, I guess we going with the plan. Anybody else here? Me, go with the plan? Yeah, we going.
Shit, man. Come on, son. Yeah, at this point, it already just looked like a black man stuck in a situation that just didn't need to be. Like, why is he by himself? Why everybody dead? Why is everybody dead around me? Why I gotta deal with it by myself?
So I'm like, okay, all right. So we see that y'all living his life.
Oh yeah, he been chilling. And one thing before Oda kills himself is the last thing that he does is the same thing that everybody does to black people. Now, when nobody else is around and everything got to be on high responsibility, Oda leveled Yasuke up before he died. He gave him the high honors before he killed himself. I'm like, bro, you just gonna leave everything on this black man and put him at high honors where all things is burning and coming down? You really gonna do that?
That's the bullshit.
That is the biggest representation of bullshit. You put this thing at the highest level when you decide to tap out. So it's all on me. It's all on me now. Now it's all on me. It wasn't all
on you.
It wasn't all on me when that other generals here, but now it's all on me because the house is burning. Oh, all right, thanks, bro.
Yeah, when in doubt.
Shit, fuck all of you, bro. So we back in the 20 years. He's the black boatman. He's just making his way, helping people travel, fish, get stories, loved by the children, all that shit.
So yeah, living his life on the low,
chilling,
trying to live. So next thing you know, he goes to the little tavern,
in that pub, he chilling, the music playing, he just chilling out of nowhere, and then some little ass nigga that just irritate him shit, bruh. This kid attacked him and tried to trade all day and shit like that, and he just interested in the concept of this. It's this little nigga named Ichiro. Ichi out here is so focused on his features. He like, why your hair like like this? And why your skin black? And why you black? And why you this? And why you tall? And this and that. And I'm like, bro, leave this man alone. This man obviously don't got no kids. He ain't do nothing. He just moving people and bullshit like that. Whose child is this? And why would you take your child to leave me alone? Like, bro, I'm a random black man. I can snap kids' necks. I ain't got no responsibility, bro.
So that scene was, I like that. One, Yasuke not giving a crap. Nope. And just being more annoyed than anything else.
Yeah.
Ichiro being right.
Typical kid that is like, bro, what you doing? What you doing, man?
Typical curious kid.
Yeah, that's nice. Somebody come get their child low. like that ass. Somebody go get the like there's some people in this time that won't even talk to this man to find out his fucking name. Yeah, you got this kid following me all day. Like, bro, take your child.
It's expected though. Kid's curious.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to live my life.
That's exactly the vibe he got.
That ass, leave me alone, kid. I'm not trying to. Like, he like, why you so fast? Why you this and why you that? Like, bro, leave me the fuck alone.
I love that whole interaction though.
And once again, let's go into a concept. Now, imagine if he was an angry black man in this village. Like, it would have been a different vibe. And he's got every reason to not want to deal with this fuck kid. Because who wants to deal with a random child out of nowhere? Like, come on.
Yeah, but in this case, he laying low, not gonna bravo.
Yeah, so we got that. Ichi is focused on that shit, talking high-fi shit about being he gonna be the top something, X, Y, Z, stuff like that. He finds himself in the forest, and assault is about to go down. Ichi finds himself seeing an assault go down, and kind of like, this was a weird concept. So there's two robbers about to come after this one fisherman, and Ichi sees this whole shit go down, and he sees that shit is starting to get real as they start to twist that man's wrist and stuff like that. Now you see an Ichi run off, and you think he probably trying to get help or something like that. All you see is in the scene, they drop that fisherman, and all you see is they stab him off screen, and you hear him yelling. Now you see Ichi go into town and talk, and he kind of just talks shit. Like, he doesn't go and ask anybody, yo, there's a fisherman getting assaulted outside. He don't go talk to nobody, tell nobody. He just sees a homeless man and he helps him get fruit and stuff like that. He dodges bullies and he sees his sick friend and stuff like that. But he don't so he ran away after talking all that shit about being a warrior because he's scared and stuff like that. But he go back to his village and don't ask for help. So that fisherman just gets stabbed for nothing.
That whole scene, this is story right here. This
kid's a dick. This kid's an absolute dick. He saw this shit go down, and you think he's leaving to be like, yo, somebody's getting assaulted. Come help me. We gotta help this guy out there. He's probably getting murdered in the forest or some shit. He went back to the village to go talk shit about being a warrior after you just ran. He said, I took them guys all myself. There's a guy dead in the forest.
My whole thing was like,
no, you're a dick. This kid's a dick. All these two scenes, I already don't like this kid.
Listen, I'm like, what is this? Like, you leave the forest.
If they was trying to make Ichiro likable, I don't like this.
Listen, I don't tell you, it was going good, and then it just fell off a cliff.
Was it? No. I mean, the action was good, but already was pissed off rip, and then you giving me more characters that I'm already being annoyed that this black man got to deal with.
Listen,
I'm listening, but it look like that black man don't want to listen either.
Listen, this is why he lived by himself on little outskirts.
Shit, I wish he was living by himself. All these people, I feel like he just started rowing his boat one day, and somebody assumed since he was a black man, oh, you must be working. Can I be on your boat right now? And he was like, you know what? Why not? He was like, if I be mad right now, they're gonna kick me out of shit. They're gonna bring a pitchfork and they light a fire and they're gonna try and kill the black man. So let me just work. Because that's all he knows to do. Be a work slave.
We'll get into
we'll get into that too.
You'll get into that. But you gotta make an income somehow here. Right now, you gotta.
Is he making an income? I don't even know if
I think he somehow.
Well, I mean, he's fishing. That's the thing. I don't think. I mean, he probably be paying for drinks or something like that, or maybe his work pays for the drinks and stuff like that. But he looked like he built his home. He has his mode of transportation. He walks and he fishes. All of those shits are concepts that you just built yourself. It don't look like you do anything as revenue. You just doing this out of the kindness of your heart.
He gotta get somebody something. I see that bartender ain't let.
Yeah. Because I don't know. All these concepts just seem to me like he's not working. It just seems like they're just assuming and being nice.
It's a lot of hope.
Yeah. Left, right, and center. But let's continue. Yeah. So Ichi being a dick himself, the only good quality he's having is he goes to go see his friend Psyche. That's his sick friend. Right off the bat, he hands her his wooden blade, which I mean, I guess at a concept that the Yasuke must like it because he made him that blade. So
that's
I guess
what I'm saying. He must have some deep quality that he like.
Oh yeah, Yasuke's a nice person. It's just this annoying ass kid. But all right, so he gave it to his friend, and then just out of nowhere, something started to flare out of this little child because she grabbed the concept of that sword, and that shit snapped too, and that shit was easy snap. So that shit happened. The mother notices off rip, and then she tries to help the child. She sees that the child is sick. She wants to take her to a doctor. No doctors around in this place, so they gotta go. She don't know of anybody who could help. Ichi suggests Yasan to help, so he already putting the black man to work. Nobody asked Yasan in this situation, but Ichi like, okay, I know a black boatsman you can go talk to see if you get some help. And nobody asked the black boatsman, but you already know Yasan putting his name out there to go help her. And the mother like, oh, you mean the black guy? Oh, okay, I guess we'll go talk to him or something. They was already a bit hesitant, so that shit already looked a little racist, but whatever. Next thing you know, we got big Russian chick pull up. So we already got the concept of what the hell's going on. Some chick from obviously Russia pulled up, and we're like, all right, so this is 15 something, and we got a concept of or this is 16 something. We got a concept of Russians up in the area, just all willy nilly. All right, whatever. Big Russian chick pulls up to the pub looking for.
Hold up. Oh, fuck the break.
Oh, go
right.
Go
yeah, let's talk about the Russian lady.
That's what I'm saying.
The big Amazonian Russian lady, like could crack half this bar. Ooh.
Yeah, she was almost too big for the pub itself.
Russian exist around time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. It's 1600. I don't know if they know the. Well, I mean, she talked to. Well, first of all, they were chatting. So what she asked for vodka. Did she say anything else? And the mere fact that she said something, could they understand her? And should she be able to understand them?
Question is, did they know what vodka was?
No, because when she asked what the vodka was, and then she looked at the man and she saw two drunk men, and she was trying to get information out of them, and she flashed the titties, and she picked one of them, and at the end of the scene, dude said, "Oh, vodka must mean men."
Yeah.
So they didn't know what the concept of that was because they didn't understand what Russian was. So I guess when they was talking to her and she was talking to them, it was a language barrier because she couldn't understand them and they couldn't understand her.
Yeah, that whole scene was like, I wonder what happened though.
She took the nigga as concept, but what happened? I'm lost.
She turned him into
Where did
vodka.
This nigga go?
Made the vodka with turned him into vodka.
Yeah, I guess she made the vodka with it. Oh, she turned into some kind of B word and it probably devoured that nigga alive. So we go on to the next scene and we see them same robbers come back and obviously they come to rob the black. Yasuke not interested in fighting back at all and he just let them take the fish and be on their way. These niggas pulled up like the Gross Sisters from Proud Family. They said fish out, give me that. And he didn't fight back, so they just took fish. They said next time you better have more. Nigga, what? Yo, let me not.
You see, he trying to lay low, trying not get no kind of contact.
Oh yeah, it must be some kind of concept. Even though the village seemed like they like him for being a docile black man, being calm and not causing no situation. I noticed already off bat, no one tries to learn his name other than the kid because everybody just calls him the Black Boatsman. You can't just say his name. Everybody just straight up call him Black Boatsman. I'm like, bro, he's the only black man in the village. I get that at least the kid is curious, but not nobody is asking for his name.
Well, you know what? He had a little hero moment. He almost got him. He almost got him.
Yeah, the mother chest with Yasuke about traveling. She basically said, hey, Black Boatsman. Hey. I'm like, bro, chill with the tone. Chill with the tone, bitch. and then when he's like, I'm not trying to do all this, Ichi tried to help to push him to do so. She was like, you got no. Ichi like, you have no honor. You better do this. I'm like, bro, out of my face, you little rat. What happened to that man in the village that you left to die? Like, talk about no honor, bitch.
Yeah,
I don't like this kid, yo.
I see you don't like this kid.
I don't like this little motherfucker, bro.
I see you don't like. Oh, but I can tell he holds Yasuke in high regard.
He holds him in high regard. You need to leave me the fuck alone. You put me to work like you some slave driver right now, brother.
We have to send you to a daycare because you need some kidding.
I enjoy my kids. My niece and nephew are fine. This little nigga is a jerk.
You deal with some of those. I've been there, done that. So this
jerk. Yeah, is he trying to push him to do so? And then this is where we start to get the concept of the flashbacks even better. And these are the stronger parts of the show. We travel to 1579, and this is the trade part. The trade port with Oda. We see Oda, finding stuff that he wants to buy out, and we we get Yasuke's basic whole backstory of him. I guess it was the concept of him already being in Japan at the time, but Yasuke gets into it between one of Oda's generals, and he was back and forth dealing with a child who somehow challenged his honor. So he's already about to stab up this child. I'm like, bro, what the fuck wrong, though? Y'all niggas already like, how did this kid piss off your honor so much that you was ready to chop him up? So already off the concept, off the rip, comparison in this into to how Yasuke deals with Ichi. Yo, Yasuke leaving this nigga mercy, because there's other esteemed Japanese folk that are full-ass adults that would carve up child for being annoying. So hey, so this kid is being saved.
This right here, this is one of the best parts. When they do this part, they tell the story of Yasuke experiences. Yeah. This is where this anime excels.
Yes, only due to the fact that the mere fact that everybody came in here thinking they was about to get historical bits, and this was the historical bits.
Yeah. So this is where it worked. All that stuff, man, later. No.
That honestly, at this point, this is becoming a LaShawn Thomas theme. So now he's having a problem. So if they want to do another Yasuke anime with somebody else, I think that might be more welcome. But LaShawn kind of burned the concept now. So like, let's
and I'm like, this is not not first time.
This is not when this is your second time on the you only have 2 animes, and this is your 2 anime hot streaks. You're kind of not looking hot, brother.
Just saying that 2 minutes.
Community. It's sad to have the community pissed at you, and there's a lot of conversation back and forth where people are fighting on the concept of should we be okay with just black stuff being mediocre sometimes, and some people are willing to accept that, and people step wrong sometimes.
No.
Yeah, this is where we get into a heavy concept with this. So hopping back into some parts of the flashback, we say man tries to treat Yasuke as less because he saw a black man try to block him off, and already we got the racial connotations right off the bat. He was like, who's this black bastard? Don't try and get in between me and this little kid. Let me chop him up real quick. And Yasuke was the best part. This is one of the best fights, because Yasuke came in here with this nigga with a whole ass samurai sword, and he came in here bouncing. My son Yasuke had hands to put on this man. He started lacing him up like it was a street fight.
So Yasuke was like, yo, I got time for you today.
He spun his ass. And when he did that, Oda from deep was like, yo, this shit is nice. What is this? Who is this? Black? And he tall too? Nah, bring this warrior to me. He is highly impressed. And he was like, you know what? We should wash. And you're like, oh, I guess they just want to wash him because probably been, dancing out there. He probably tired or something like that. They get him. And this is one of them concepts of back in the day, I guess so, because bats back in royal time and during the plague, I think in the 1400s, black people brought bats to the Europeans. That was straight off the rip. Like, Europeans was dirty before black people showed up and started telling them the concept of bats. So this was kind of flipped on itself because they decided to wash Yasuke, and he was butt ass naked in the street in the forest and shit like that. So they washed this poor black man. Like first of all, I guess he was just with it because they just took him somewhere aside, stripped him, and started washing him. So this is where this shit started. This off rip started pissing off. They washed him, and then they're shocked with the concept of this black person because they wash him and they're like, yo, the black ain't coming off. Like they was like, did he ink his skin? Nah, his skin is natural black. And it was like, they were so lost off it. They was like, your skin is black? What is that? Who is black? And then they was like, they asked for his name. Now I wrote down his name. It's Esibio Ibrahim Baloy. And he said it twice, and them niggas wasn't fucking with that at all. Their face was so scringy when they heard this name. They said, ain't work for me, son. So they said right off the bat, I'm gonna call you Yasuke. I guess the slave owner that he had with him said he was of Yao descent, which I didn't look in the history. Do you have any history on anything in the concept of you got any history on anybody from the Yao?
I haven't been able to dig up not too much of it.
Yeah, I didn't follow up on that concept, but just the mere fact that this became roots right off the bat because they tried to clean him. They was disrespected on just the mere fact that he was a black man, and they couldn't gather the concept of being black. And then right off the bat, they heard his name twice, and he could have spelled it out or something like that. But he said his name officially twice. They was like, no, I'm not fuck that at all. So we're just gonna call you Yasuke. I was like, oh, okay. And he didn't say nothing. He didn't say that I was gonna accept that name, but right off the rip, he said, okay.
Yeah, man. Listen,
this whole scene was what?
I was watching this, as I watched it, I was rubbing my leg, about to flip over this table right I was like,
dude, this was already the biggest. This is already the biggest racist debater that we have. First of all, the concept of trying to wash, especially stripping them butt ass naked in the forest. Like, bro, what is this? What? I didn't hear him say he consented or nothing. So this was already a pull. He was already treated as a slave. He had a slave owner. They flipped his name. This all felt like Roots.
It did. It really did. And
I mean, we're already off rip getting this name Yasuke, and he ain't even Yasuke. He had a whole other name.
They gave him a slave name. I'm like, that slave name.
Which is already like, now you already feel something. I don't know about anybody else watching the show, but right off the rip, if you heard that this wasn't his name and they named him Yasuke, you're already going to feel some way about the story already.
Yeah. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, oh, so that's not even his name.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
what?
So this is like calling Kunta Kinte, the movie was named Toby.
Exactly.
So you got to feel some type of way, because I felt some type of way after this. I was like, oh, so wait, he wasn't, so wait, huh?
This is wild.
Yeah. So, all right. So we get out of the flashback, and we got them planning to all, I guess after the flashback, Yasuke had a change of heart. He wanted to leave out at nighttime because it's more chiller at the docks and stuff like that. It's less crazier to travel because it's so deep to get to that dock that he wasn't with it at first, but now he feels some type of way. His honor code has him to protect a child, where his honor code is from, I guess, the Yao descent. It was one of those concepts of a village raises a child, so everybody come together. So he felt a type of way towards this sick child, and he wanted to help out. So we flip right back into the flashback of 1579 in the proctor. We got Yasuke is skilled. He's already been with the Oda clan for a while. He said he meets this lady who thanks him for saving her little brother. She's high on the Oda Nobunaga. So apparently she saw the shit that was going down with her brother. Her brother was about to be chopped up, and because of her code and where she stands with the crew, she couldn't get involved, which is some geeky old bullshit. I don't believe that, but whatever. And she thanked this black man for doing her job. A lot of this concept is a lot of Yasuke got pushed up.
It's a lot of bull.
Once again, I told you, a black man has put in situations where he shouldn't have to deal with all this shit of other people who should be dealing with this shit.
Exactly. It's like, why?
Why me? Why me? Like, literally, just say, why me?
That's what this episode has like so far. Like, why?
It shouldn't be named Ronin. This first episode should be called Why Me?
Yeah, it was like, why? Yeah. Like, why am I here? Why am I?
Exactly. At this point, it's like, what the fuck? So we get the lady's name. Her name is Natsumaru. At that point, Yasuke keeps waking from nightmare visions, which is of his past. While he's have them on the boat and they start to travel out, the mother is curious about him. She notices him. She just starts asking, curious questions, just like the child. Yasuke code is one of the jealous. He's about saving kids. It's a different kind of illness that he's never really seen before.
Yep.
And right as they're traveling, he stopped. Like the boat just stops out of left field, and then you see the water is frozen, and enemies start to show up just out of nowhere. We got this lady swinging a hook sword, and then we got a robot that speaks in
again
normal,
with the robot
normal person tone, and then we got a black man that just pulls up out of nowhere. So we got a second black man in this, and then we got the Russian lady pull up, and then we got all these blade warriors. They just all chilling and pulling up on him. So we wondering something what was going on, and then right on top we already got another racist thing. The robot already shocked to see two black men, and right off the bat, his first thing is, oh, two black men in Japan, y'all must be related.
You know what?
The black man on his side said, "Shut the fuck."
Yo, at this point, I'm probably ain't Sub-Zero pop out. This been going. We ain't got no plot going on here. It's like, what?
No. And then at the same time, we gotta think of the concept. So this was created by a black man. Why the hell is all this like this? This is a lot. There's a lot of people just being strict racist just off a rip. Even the robots, we get it from robots.
It's like how you some parts go all the way left. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why is this man's story a slave? Why is he dealing with this? Why is he dealing with that? Even right off the bat, they say that they're after the child, and the lady kept saying churne. Did you look up the concept of what churne means in Russian?
No, I did not.
It is a racist way to say black. So every time she said churne, she was just yelling black.
You know what?
I was curious, and I had to look this up because she said it throughout the whole series. So I was like, yo, let me look up what this shit means, and it means a derogatory word for black.
black. It just means black in Russian. So she was calling him black the whole time. She was like, come here, black. You need to drop the child, black. Hey, black. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, if you ain't want to translate,
They didn't translate that shit at all. You had to look that shit up yourself and be pissed off. I say they just full of racists all through this show, huh?
Sean here pissed me off right now.
Yeah, LaShaw was about black enterprises, but this shit is feeling like a slave movie.
It really is.
So they attack. First of all, they get ready to attack, and they realize right before he blocks off the concept, he speaks Japanese at them, and they are all big shocked. They said the black man spoke Japanese. The black man spoke Japanese. Like, they are so shocked at this concept, even though he's in fucking Japan.
Exactly.
Like
really?
What are you niggas doing here? Where are y'all from? We only can tell that the Russian lady is from somewhere else. Like, bro, why are you so shocked? And they were all shocked that he spoke in Japanese. So you gotta go into the concept of what are all the languages of these guys talk? Yeah. Where are they from? And how do they understand? So they understand Japanese? Because they was kind of lost.
The logic here is frustrating. Are they the same language? Are they speaking different languages and they're showing us translating?
Yeah, because this is all in, like, you could, like, I watch both this English sub and English dub, but this is confusing on, like, so what's the language concept and how are you understanding all this? Like, what's going on? Who's talking? What is going on? How are you having this conversation?
Exactly.
This starts getting a mess, and then in the mid of everybody being shook, Yasuke strikes first, and it gets crazy. Everybody starts scrapping, shit going back and forth, shit is a mess. So Yasuke getting jumped. We find out everybody's powers. We got a sword swinger with the lady in the big hook sword. We got a mech shooting off. We got the shaman who summons spiritual warriors to fight for him. And the lady is a transformer, so she turns straight off into a bear and starts attacking. So, like, Yasuke is starting to block them all off. He's showing some of his fighting skills. That's pretty cool. The mother hops into the middle of this shit, and the mother is completely outmatched. She came in here thinking she was gonna do something, and then the moment she started doing something, she got shot. She got her arm shot straight off, and she was already down for the count. So I don't know what the hell you got involved with, Miz, because you suck. And that's what you get for being low-key racist earlier, whatever. But the mother was scrapping, and she got shot by the mech, and the little girl saw that shit, and she got upset. So she got her powers big booming, and everybody got set off rip. So everybody went off flying, but we really see Yasuke flying off into the water, and he plunged. So that's the end of the first episode. Thoughts?
Ooh, boy. Confusion.
Yeah.
Anger.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I was coming into this anime review trying to be a little light, but it looked like we are on that kind of time already, because this is working out a whole different way.
I want it to be. I gave the benefit of the doubt the first time I watched it.
But the more you get into detail, the more upset you actually get.
I tried as objective as possible when I first watched. Watching it again, I'm watching like, no, this is
I've now watched this anime about 3-4 times, and I'm starting to notice stuff that I'm missing beforehand, and low-key is just getting me more upset.
Yeah, the more I watch.
Like the first time I was running through it, I was just here for a fun time. I didn't want to, piss on everybody's chips and shit like that. I saw they was trying to do something, and I was like, let it be fun and shit like that. But now, whoo-wee, the bloodbath.
My thing, and I'm just gonna stick to this episode for now, is it had moments when they did tell you of Yasuke,
which should have been. I mean, the anime is called Yasuke, not the travel of the little girl.
It works.
So like, obviously it's gonna work when you focus on him, because it should be about him. Fuck these kids.
So when they do that, it works very good. Yeah. It's just the fact that they got stick to that, and then they're adding all of this stuff.
That's the blips of the episode. The episode of meat and potatoes is not working.
That really doesn't belong. Basically, outside of when they're talking about his experiences, it feels like the side character.
Yeah.
It's like, show his name.
Yeah, which you already pissed me off by telling me that ain't his name.
Yeah, it's like, that just don't make no sense. I'm like, the plot is not existent.
It should be my son Balor. And my son the true Balor. He ain't no fit. He another Balor.
Right, so we go through this whole thing. There's a lot of characters, some are not most likely.
No, I mean, you get a concept of a lot of people probably they just desserts or they just being dickheads or X, Y, and Z. I mean, the only person I feel sad for is this little girl who was sick and she needed to go to a doctor, but she got powers and shit like that. So I guess that's a concept that happened. But I mean, the only reason I felt bad for the mother is due to the fact that her daughter had to see her get shot. Before that, she was kind of being a little racist. So I ain't coming in here giving you any kind of benefits of the doubt. Y'all kind of forced me to work, and now you got this black man in another situation where he never asked for.
If they said in that part, yeah, that's probably how it was. You got some historical act here. Basically, if it wasn't for culture, I would watch this past episode.
No. We went into this show strictly. If this was another samurai random anime, this shit gets dropped right off rip. This being about a black man samurai is the mere concept of why everybody was so hyped about this.
If I was watching culture, this would have got dropped after episode.
Oh, without a doubt. I said in my notes, for final thoughts, I said first episode takes his anime a root liberty as seen with nothing being historical to a large point or stuff not explained and things being racist to a fault. And despite all this is a kind of interesting story on an unknown case that has taken its anime up roots, and it's curious if not basic to a fault, but still interesting to continue to see where this goes. Flashbacks though seem highly interesting in this character most, and yeah, it's really just it's really the concept that the show should have laid on, which already, like we talked about in the first 5 minutes, it killed off its most interesting concept with him being under Oda. So already off rip, this show told you fuck these flashbacks because you already killed Oda.
Yeah, for fact, why we didn't get more Oda?
Like, going into this, our first thing is we see Oda talking about how he was betrayed, and the only person there he got with him is that black man, and he doesn't feel strong enough to. We see in anime all the time. There's two people that stand up a whole army. What the hell was Avengers Endgame, where we see Captain America about to take on a whole army and shit like that by himself, just in a concept, even though he knew he was gonna lose? Why do we see in the first concept this legendary high-ranking king officer Oda Nobunaga? Why is his first thing we see he kills himself? He doesn't have any pride in himself to stand with the ship. Even with this black man, he decides, no, this is all beneath me. I should die. I'd rather die instead of fighting for the cause. What happened to your honor?
Exactly.
So from this point, you've already killed off and lowballed this character. So going forward, seeing him in the concept of being high royal king and stuff like that, you're like, but you're gonna bitch out in it.
Exactly. This is.
I'm telling you, the more we analyze it, the more we're about to get annoyed.
It's disappointing.
Yes, honestly, that's where you can ball. This is all disappointing.
So
yeah. So we got to step into the second episode. We hop into the old way.
All right. So we got episode 2 of Zibio.
Yeah. Mr. Balor. This anime is not EIB for Ibrahim Balor because that is his true name, and we are going to fuck with that. Come on, man.
Right. So
we in the old way. The fight finishes. Everybody's blown away. Everything's all shook up. We don't know where the fuck anybody at. Everybody got thrown to the wayside. Yasuke tried to swim his way out the water to shore, and before he got blasted away, he tried to grab at the mother, and all he got was her necklace. So he said earlier on in the episode, he said that he's seen that necklace before in that concept. So he grabbed that necklace, and the only thing he could launch off from that mother. So he got thrown far. When he got to shore, he pulled up and he had the necklace on and stuff like that. Now we get one of the best parts of this anime, and this is to be said, and it has to be known. Shout outs to Flying Lotus, because bro, they put the music to this anime. The soundtrack is really where the money goes into shit, because the intro is concept different than I've ever seen in anime before. We have some funkadelic beats, which has some good visuals, and it really makes you feel into a spiritual mood. The intro to this is funkadelic as fuck, catchy with the song beats, visuals. Like, listen, is it very different from the usual anime? This is filled out with the culture, full of flavor. You got soul stuff, and it literally tells the concept of Yasuke's whole code in this one. You boil his whole personality in this opening.
So, and the 2 episodes going on so far, the intro so far has been one of the highlights.
The highest highlights. The music and throughout this whole thing, and that just in itself is the work. It's amazing work.
Like, why didn't we start with this?
Yeah, we should have opened with this open from the first episode, because this shit slap. Imagine people who dropped this at the first episode and haven't heard this opening though. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's people who dropped this shit in the first 5 minutes, so of course they're never gonna touch this opening.
And that's travesty to hit fire opening.
Exactly. It's not even just fire. It's different. Like Flying Lotus and Thundercat came together to make this shit, and honestly, it's different than like I've heard a lot of openings and endings, and we've tackled a lot of openings and endings, and this just feels different. Like, it's hard to get the concept of different, but this is like actual soulful composers in the West actually bringing some concept here that feels like a different kind of music.
For me, this fit how the anime supposed to be.
Exactly. I mean, literally, they tell the story of his code, which is exactly in meaning for the show, but not in the meaning for the show that they show us. It's more for the flashback.
Exactly. That's what the story should have been. It should have been about him, his code.
If the listeners hasn't understood the concept of this, we are just gonna hammer this home constantly that this should have been what everybody thought it was gonna be.
This should have been a hit. So far, it has been a disaster.
Oh, it's super disaster. Not even close. Like I don't even know. LaShawn, I don't know if you go. I don't think there's gonna be a third strike here. I don't think people can survive another thing. I don't even know. I don't even know if Cannon Busters is getting in season 2. Like, bro, I don't know what you got here, bro. It's just something else. I guess at another time we can review Cannon Busters as well.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah, because we got LaShawn, man. LaShawn, I don't know, bro. He's got a lot of hate from the community coming. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
something else. So, all right, we go into 1581. We're at Oda's castle. So I noticed this off rip that they tried and start to dredge up what the hell they were trying to claim. So they said the tech advancement was stolen from the West, and it's why their concept grew. Now they said it was stolen from the West. This is still 1581. So in 1581, I don't know if anybody had a concept for a robot.
I'm like that just to be eaten. How? I'm like the West.
They stole tech advancements from the West to do. I don't even know what the fuck from the West they built of it, but apparently that's how they got the concept for the robots. Niggas didn't have cars, but we're building robots with jetpacks.
I know. Like how you find Wakanda?
I mean, they said the West, so I guess it's not West Africa, but yeah.
That's the only way I see this making any sense.
So I don't know. We get right into we're right thrown into this flashback of the battle. We have one of Oda's generals fighting against Natsu, and they're sparring in front of the folk. Oda's impressed because it's at a stalemate. So the lady's highly talented, and he's definitely here for that shit. They're getting ready for a parlay with the eager general coming up. Yasuke seems to be a problem, and Oda thinks of his generals talking shit right. They're legit talking shit right in front of Yasuke. Talk about he don't belong. He ain't one of us. He ain't with the old guard. They ain't gonna respect this. Oda's, I guess, a forward thinker. That's why he's got a black man on his side and a woman samurai and all this shit. So he's here for this shit, and every one of his generals is not fucking. He's not with it. So he find out that this samurai's name is Mitsu Mire, where I say this nigga just straight hater. He a straight hater. No matter what Yasan does, that nigga hating his soul, hating his heart. This nigga hate a black man. Hate. That nigga hate.
He hates this man so much.
Oh, he hate him so much. He's like, nah, get this black bastard out of my face. He should not even pick up.
You know what he want to say. You know what he want to say.
Yo, oh no, we all know he was saying. And I'm surprised LaShawn ain't let this man drop an N-word straight out. Let this nigga out of this. Like, bro, I was waiting for it all to blow off.
I'm like, at this point, just let it rock. You did everything else.
Yeah, LaShawn, you pretty much have you basically did all roots without that shit. So I'm surprised you ain't let it rock. So yeah, Mitsu is a whole hater. Natsu and Yasan starts to get very close. She has a chain symbol just like the one that the mother had. So that's the connection there. We have we go back into our regular timeline, and we see a random old man and he's got a captive. I don't know where this captive come from, but this random old man seems to have sent the folk after looking for the child. Yep. And we see the robot speaks of the black man. And see, I looked into some research about this shit, but the robot talked about meeting the black man who spoke Japanese. And once again, he comes in with the racist shit, looking at his black shaman member, and he assumes, he says, oh, he must be from the Benin Kingdom. Now, when I heard that, I was like, let me look that up. So apparently the Benin Kingdom is from West African, South Nigerian in the Edo era. So we had some West African, South Nigerian concepts connecting close to Japanese culture. But there's an unknown history about this place. So this was a real place. It's a West African, South Nigerian kingdom in the feudal Japanese Japanese era, so it's an unknown concept and stuff like that. But apparently, this is a connection. So apparently, West African, South Nigerian have Japanese connections.
Wow.
Yeah, me looking up this concept was at least this nigga got some history that we can learn in this shit, which we should have been.
Now, since the Yao will exist too.
Yeah,
I did look them up.
Okay,
so they're south.
Okay, so they're on this nigga, this robot being racist because he just put East and West niggas just together. These niggas is all total different plane. Mm-hmm. So that he just being this robot's already getting me fucking upset off rip. So he's another annoyance. But these people are hired gun. That's why they're doing what they doing. They promise they will be paid by the higher power by this fucked up priest guy. Pretty much. He kidnaps that guy to get the info on the black boatsman, which once again, everybody in this fucking village does not take any time. I guess this was to Yasuke's benefits only for like 5 seconds, though they find him later real quick. But they get the info on the boatsman, and he asks what's his name, and the motherfucker has the audacity to be like, that man has no name, he's just a black boatsman. I'm like, you're a dick. And I don't feel any kind of bad towards you about that, because already you seem like a jerk. Like everybody in this show is already showing itself to be a jerk other than Yasuke.
Yo, like I said, they all did just like learn day. Damn it.
Like let me get this concept. How am I supposed to how am I supposed to feel bad for anybody dying in this series if everybody's an asshole?
Listen, I'm like, if you was gonna do all this, you might have stuck to the record.
That's what I'm saying. So we got the weird ass priest. He snapped that nigga neck, and I don't give a shit. Not really. He said he needs the girl to control the church. So we got another concept of a fucked up priest trying to control some part of the church because it controls the government and X, Y, and Z. So he must be on some power struggle shit. Yasan finds Psyche, the little girl, but the mother's not in sight at all. He already fishes and finds a fish. My son's a good fisherman. He always catches his concept of the fish. He got the fish cooking and everything. He already got the child set up pretty good. And they both trying to find out the mystery of what happened. The little girl keeps asking where's her mother. Yasuke don't know what the fuck going on, but he at least taking care of the child. We got the mystery of the child going on. He says the past informs our future, which is a nod at the flashback. And right off that, we go back into another flashback. In 1581, we are on the Iga General's providences, and we're in there. They said they are there for the surrender, and they want the Iga clan to join up under Oda Nobunaga's ranks, and they are not with it at all. Once again, we back to the racist shit and the sexist shit. Them niggas is right off there. They said, yo, Oda don't respect the old ways. Fuck this shit, because he's coming around. First of all, they said there's seven samurai. This nigga counted them. He said, I only see 5 first off. And then he said, I see a woman and a black man. The fuck y'all trying to do up here with this shit? We respect the old ways. We don't fuck with the new ways. So you came up here with a black man. Fuck out of here. Screw that. And then right off the rip, they said, we're so disrespected. They told this nigga Mitsu, who's another hater, they said, we challenge the black boatsman. Give us the black man so we can carve his ass up. And Mitsu, yo, he was like, thank you, God. And he went back to them and they said, they want you, black man. You go out there and finish this job. I was like, Mitsu was having a good day. He was like, they are gonna carve this guy up and we ain't gonna help him, so let him get carved up. The challenge starts and Yasuke is tested off of the first general. And right off go ahead.
They talk about the old ways. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody respecting the old ways because we got next line, left, right, on stage.
Oh, facts. Old ways is some bullshit. Old ways is exactly like the concept where they try to tell black people they shouldn't be advancing. They should be sticking to their old ways and how old things should be done. When the old ways is some fucked up bullshit created by stupid concepts.
So now we got Yasuke here where he wants vote like
big time. They challenge him to a fight and they test him, but they completely slapped on because he proved to be an excellent swordsman. Animation, this is where Mappa starts coming because animation looks glorious. Once again, one of the main things that this anime should have been was a historical regular samurai like Rurouni Kenshin. This should have been straight off the concept because the fight was beautiful. Yasuke bodied this guy. He was proved to be very talented talented, and he bopped this guy without killing him right off rip. And then that's when they start to jump. So we got mad people jumping in, and we saw the swordsman over there. Nobody decided to help Yasuke. So everybody about to jump in, and he started carving. Yasuke showed how he can fight. So this one shows how he could fight the concept of the four people who came to jump him in the previous episode. This fight kind of informs how he got the skills of taking on multiple people at once. So he proved to be an excellent swordsman. He was scrapped with him. He carved a bunch of them. This shit is extra bloody. It's a nice path filled in blood. One of them literally said the line, history will forget you, which is shrouded in some kind of truth, because I mean we're learning about concepts man now. So that was a little added bonus of that thing being truth just in general. Yasuke finishes them, and then he still has to respect it, even though he carved these niggas. He chopped off the head of the most disrespectful one, and he still had the respect to close his eyes and pray over the body covered in blood.
Hey, listen, they tried it.
Yasuke is the best character in this entire show. Like a lot of times, a lot of anime comes out and people don't enjoy the main character. Yasuke is the best and nicest person. Even when he's killing, even when you're racist, he has absolute respect for your ass.
Yep, when you chopped up head, close your eye, prayed up.
Yep, all respect. And then Yasuke starts to notice that there's a similar thing between the crest that they have and the one that Natsu has. So that shit is from hell. And he goes back to the clan, and Mitsu is still a fucking hater. He said, he was like, man, all we saw is blood today. This shit is highly disrespectful. And he was just hoping that Yasuke would die in this hurdle. He watched this shit and he was so upset Yasuke died.
Yeah, I'm like you about all there was blood.
Fuck you. You caused this.
You the one that rolled back to why.
Yeah, I didn't see you hopping out here to help me. Them niggas jumping me. Why you staying in the back? I thought you was all skilled and talented.
Right?
Shit. Fuck all of y'all. So alright, so the mercenaries sniff out the black boatsman. The Russian lady who's type of bear, she sniffs out. So she's on the hunt for his scent. Right after that, we got Yasuke. Yasuke brings Psyche back to the village, back to the pub, and he informs Psyche that her mother is probably gone because he can't see her. And then she runs off crying, and while she lays on the ground, her powers start to activate outside. So nobody's seeing this shit apparently. So nobody's noticing this little girl light up or nothing like that. So apparently after that, it probably disappeared. So we go back to the celebration of Yasuke's slaying of the Iga generals. They drink and everybody's merry about it. But you get a concept of, once again, Yasuke's heart. Yasuke feels sorrow for killing these people, even though they tried to jump him, even though they was disrespectful towards him, everything. He still finds mercy upon them, and he feels like he didn't have a need to kill them, but it's just the situation at hand. So him and Natsu talk on philosophies, and she's like showing off more sus tendencies because he's questioning Oda on the right to merging these places and the concept that he follow under that's a little sus, and she's just challenging Oda just in general. And Yasuke is trying to be on a defense mode of Oda's a great guy. I believe his concepts and everything and like that. And just Natsu's philosophy just felt off rip. Like you up to something, aren't you?
Oh yeah, you peaked that, right?
Yeah, between the crest situation and then her starting to bring up this whole philosophies out of nowhere, and she's kind of aggressive on, I don't really like Oda and stuff like that. I'm like, but you're one of his high generals. If you don't trust him, what the fuck does that mean to me? Because you've been here before I have.
I'm like, you seem like a mole.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, all of you people out here is like challenging Oda and all this shit for all this shit. And I'm like, bro, I just got here. How am I more loyal than all of you motherfuckers?
Right? I'm like, wow. I don't trust none of y'all at this point.
That's what I'm saying. And once again, everybody in this show is annoying except for Yasuke. And the only part of Yasuke is annoying to me is just the only thing that's annoying about Yasuke to me is everything is happening around him because he kind of accepts. He's not fighting anything that's going down other than to defend. Like, other than that, he's just letting things happen.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I guess it's just a life of a slave. You can say a life of a slave, but there's mad revolutionaries out of here. And I guess Yasuke would have been one of them people to be part of a revolution, I guess, because he's not fighting anything. Nothing going down is like, he's really docile to a lot of things that just goes on. He just lets things kind of happen.
Yeah, and I think that's what I don't know if has hesitant of knowing what to do and what his abilities are.
Yeah,
so he don't want to go off on somebody.
Exactly. He don't want to. I guess he's just trying to be like safe, and the concept of safety and stuff like that. Keep keep that all safe. So he's just leaning on that, just being protective off of that note, I guess. But it just annoys me that he just has everything happen around him, and he's like not in any concept to fight. But I mean, I guess that's how he was brought up on this. So I let that slide for the most part, even though that's getting me annoyed. But he's the best character in all this shit. So you shouldn't have me be annoyed with everybody on the show plus the main character. So you already got massive annoyed with everything going on.
Well, he had to have some kind of character, so that's it. No, yeah. I'm okay with
exactly. Yeah, that's good. Oda says he was looking for a better Japan, more open. He is proud of Yasuke, and he had him sit in respect and honor while everybody is big hating and upset, and he's telling everybody to drink out of respect for him. I was surprised that everybody drank. I thought people was gonna have that moment, just like last week, how he was talking about Carly and how she was talking about the one world, and everybody was looking around and they was like, not continue it. I thought they was gonna do the same on Oda. I thought he was gonna tell everybody to drink, and they was gonna be like, yeah, we don't want to drink like that.
That I wouldn't have been surprised went that way.
Exactly, and everybody drinks to him. He's giving him big respects, and Mitsu, being the hater, notices that definitely notices that Oda respects Yasuke more than his own son, because Ranmaru's not even up to his level of Yasuke. So he fucks with Oda. Oda even thinks of Yasuke as pretty much a son as well. And Mitsu's big hating because he's treating Yasuke, and he even says the word slave, wanting to return to he is one of them niggas that is straight in his ways. He wants to return to an idea of the old world. He don't fuck with what's going on. He sees Yasuke as a slave who should only be in slave work. He should be doing housework. You should have never been able to pick up a sword. You shouldn't be able to carve nothing. You should be able to stand there and get killed. That's it. So he is big hating. I hate Mitsu big time. He's the most hated out here.
Oh, fuck yeah, without question.
Yeah. We go back to the bar. Everyone's dead. The mercenaries and the priests automatically already find Yasuke. So that wasn't even a search. They was already right there, and they pull up on his ass. The priest is here talking about a prophecy, talking about collecting the child for the better. He had a child, and then he said there was a woman under me that stole the child away from him. And this is where I was talking about, where we talking about the idea of perception versus reality. This was a nice conversation between the priest and Yasuke, because we had the idea of the servant growth and the servant being a servant due to the old ways. Now, this priest was talking about you serving and you having the growth, and by means of serving, one day you'll have that. This is the American dream, where one day you work as hard as you can as being a servant, and you grow along the ranks, and you'll one day be a higher ranking officer, which Yasuke knows in the past that's some bullshit, because a servant will always be seen as a servant in the concept of old way. As Oda starts to raise him up through the ranks and he gets all these titles and stuff like that, there's people around him that just only see him as a slave, and that shit doesn't change. So that's the idea of perception, because this priest comes in with this American dream ass philosophy, talking about if you work hard and you'll be a servant of the Lord, you'll be raised up in the ranks and you'll be honored with your glory. While Yasuke knows the reality of it is, as a black man, you'll just be looked at as a certain way, no matter how high up in companies or levels or like whatever title you get put, you'll always be seen as a certain way, because look at the police. It don't matter. Yeah. You can be part of the police force and they'll still run you your gun.
Right? If it's one part they got right, Blaine, is that.
Some of the conversations going throughout the show is really like key parts. At least they got some of the conversation right, because the rest of this shit is bullshit. The conversations and the history, that's what they got here. That's it. Other than that, it's some bullshit.
Oh, 100% agree.
Yeah. So we got scripture talk, and we got scripture talk, and it's already a lot going down. And then right off the rip, they start jumping.
Yep,
the goons came in and they start to jump him. Shaman Man pissed off about his nose from earlier. He started throwing in that shit. All right, so here's a part that pissed off everybody. Now, I had to run back into the episode prior to realize what the hell was going on, because this pissed me off at first, and Patty from Black Ramen Podcast brought it up, and I didn't realize, and I had to go back in the episode to notice this. But all right, so Yasuke throws hot water at the robot, and the robot super malfunctions. He starts shooting all over the place because a little water got on him. I'm like, bro, what is this? What is the concept of this robot? You get a little water on you malfunction, you start shooting up the place. Like, come on, what? I thought at first it was some bullshit, because Patty brought up the fact that the episode prior, they was fighting on the water. So I was like, wait, so how did the robot fight in the water when you get a little water on the robot and it started malfunctioning?
Exactly, that's stupid.
I thought it was stupid until I had to go backtrack into the episode and remember they froze the water. So I guess that's their excuse for it. They froze the water, so the robot's fine with battling on ice.
I don't know, but then the little girl blasted them. Water.
But we never saw where the robot flew off. So I guess he flew off. None of them seem hurt. So they got blasted away, and I guess the robot didn't land in some water. This is just headcanon, honestly.
Yeah, this is. So we get this fight. It's going down. Y'all putting up good fight.
Oh, they jump his ass.
They really can't. They love.
They beat his ass. They hold him down. They switched the gun to stun mode. So because if they didn't change it to stun mode when they shot him, he would have ended up just like the mother. He would have been in pieces. So they fried his shit.
They learned from last time.
Oh yeah, they because they didn't want to kill this nigga because they needed some information. Because for some reason, I guess wherever Psyche went, she was not outside in a straight line because none of them niggas just saw her out there. They didn't see where she was glowing. I guess they didn't say because they was still looking for the child. They beat him and they take him as prisoner. So he let the child whereabouts be known. So they take him as prisoner to beat his ass and get some information. And that's how the second episode ends.
Boy, they had beat him up like that. And that was personal.
They jumped his shit. I mean, Shaman guy was pissed off from his nose beforehand. The lady was chopping off pieces of his hair and then cut him up. The bear lady was OD snuffing him up with the bear combo. Reminded me of Tekken. She was out here busting his ass like Kuma. And then we got the robot out here shooting left, right, and center. Really out here. Yeah, ready with the big blast. And they held him down to get shot and shit. So it was all a mess there. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the second episode?
My thoughts on the second episode was episode 1. We was like, okay, you know what? It might still happen. By the time I watched the episode, I would think my library.
Oh no, yeah.
I would close the Netflix app and call it the day because it was no way I'll continuing this.
Yeah, this started becoming a difficulty and just off the basicness of the concepts, it's just everything just going along the way is just like you gotta grab at straws at the stuff that you're highly the most interested in for the most part. I said my final thoughts is I'm still curious, still convoluted, but interesting things I guess Yasuke has brought up going through his flashback and his philosophical thoughts over his past informing his future, what he's been through, discussions of idealness versus reality of the situation really makes you think. The flashback and the fights itself with the animation to boot makes this a continued joy on just like you got Mappa's animations and just the concept of what we wanted the show to be. That samurai fight that he had was the money. That was exactly what we was hoping this show to be. While it not being long makes it easy to go through with that. But it's like this show is only 6 episodes. It's about 25 to 30 minutes an episode. And even that feels like a drag. And that's a problem.
That is a big problem. Put that
that's
in perspective. 6 episodes.
You should be crying out due to the fact this is only 6 episodes, but you got people coming in here and be like, 6 episodes is already too much.
If it's only 6 episodes, by episode 2, you're ready to just say to hell with it. Yep. That is a problem.
That's a big problem. I mean, people had that from episode 1 in the first 5 minutes.
A lot of probably pushed through this for the culture.
Yeah, I watched this show twice in dub and sub, all 6 episodes for the culture,
and it was a rough go because it had potential, but by the time that episode 10 gone.
Listen, man, we was here. We have done this for the culture, but I mean, like you said before, the biggest thing about this show is that it's disappointing. It's disappointing. It's disappointing in all the execution of what it should be or what it had all its rights to be. It could have been a phenomenal story, even told in 6 episodes, but no, bro, they just gone to the bullshit.
So had tension was wasted. It didn't see its potential.
It's a hurt, man. It's a hurt of what could have been, and just disappointment on just it's that concept again. Should we allow mediocrity in our in spaces where we barely are allowed? So we're getting shit like this, and you're like, bro, this is why they might not let us back into the genre again.
Yeah, the fact that this is second go and you're putting out something that's mediocre. The first time, no, really got past first go, but this not being your first go, your stuff still mediocre.
And the thing about it is, his first concept wasn't even the mere fact that it was like awesome racist shit or people was like hyped on beforehand. Cannon Busters was only the reason why Cannon Busters didn't hit as well is because it was just just basic. It was just like LaShawn Thomas knows anime for a basic concept. He goes on things for just being very basic because Cannon Busters felt like it belonged in the 90s era around the same time as all of those concepts was coming out, because having that come out after people have had history with this other stuff, it's like, all right, but you compare this and this is not as good.
All right, I'm going to stop you there because we're about to
big disappointment. The vibes is just dropped. LaShawn with the Cannon Busters nest. He came in here with basic stuff, and then he came back with Yasuke with some more basic stuff, and it just rubbed us even further the wrong way because you had a blank canvas. Yasuke is just stuff that we're just finding out about now. So you had all this time to drop some historical shit, just go with the class, but you went with some basic shit. So you kind of dropped us, kind of dropped the ball, bro.
Yeah, in regards to that, Cannon Busters, it was a concept from you. So okay, we'll give artistic leeway. That's fine.
Even though it was artistic leeway, but it just followed the formula of other stuff. So you ended up being dead. Yasuke was more free-range canvas because we don't know the concept, but it's a black samurai. Nobody's gonna like fault you or X, Y, and Z. This could all go into different concepts that we will like. It doesn't have to be like Rurouni Kenshin because Rurouni Kenshin was not black. You can follow different stuff that you've never seen before to open out of the culture, and you went big.
Yeah, it's like so. Cannon Busters, like I said, if you went cookie cutter, okay, that's what you want to know. It that's fine.
Hey, it's your first time out the gate. Okay, we'll let it slide.
You learn. So this whole growth, and the issue here with Yasuke is that we didn't see any growth from Cannon Busters. Like, this is a point of reference to Yasuke. It's not like coming out of blue. Their historical reference, and you could have used that, but instead you with all of this.
LaShawn's lucky that Cannon Busters even got released to DVD with Funimation. Funimation, the place that houses Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Outlaw Star all together in selling the concept of Cannon Busters is that shit is extremely funny because that flows right into their wheelhouse to show how basic it is.
Exactly, and like I said, I expect more.
Yeah, we all expected more.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Like the biggest thing that you can put on a review here is just that it's just disappointing.
So I guess recommendation time.
Recommend to check this out or not?
For our list, yes.
Okay, go ahead. What's your thought on that?
Okay, my thought on this. What I recommended, if you're going to watch this for what Mappa has. Yeah. Don't watch this for plot. Don't watch the story.
I'm gonna tell if I'm recommending this, what I'm going to say, I need the people who are going to probably watch this is somebody who's very, very started anime and somebody who like understands that anime is ridiculous, but at the same time has no basic concept of other anime. If this is your first ever anime to jump into this as your first, because that's the only way this shit's gonna get any credit. If you start off with this, the only place you can go is higher. So you can watch other stuff that's actually of quality to make it even better. Because if you start with this, you have no leeway or groundway to work from. If you come in here with other anime trends, you're gonna shit all over.
So yeah, that's my recommendation. If you're watching it, watch the action.
Well, no, listen to the music and then avoid all background.
Yeah, get there. Save for the
intro and the soundtrack in the back. Like when some fight's gone down, like that time at the trade port where he was giving hands to them and he started bouncing, they played some fire music in the background. Like they got some. The soundtrack is pretty popping.
That's fuel farm.
Exactly. Hey, I'm still gonna give the respect. They worked hard on that soundtrack. So if the soundtrack is the show, that's it. The soundtrack is the bang.
Listen to the soundtrack on Spotify.
There you go. Find the composers and ask them for the sound. That's it. When they avoid the show, just play it on mute and have the soundtrack in the background. There you go.
That's it.
Yep. So moving forward off the disappointing edge to that. So just a little concept. We're 7 month game respect back. We got some we still got some stuff coming up. Logo being worked on by the Hermit Man himself. Ronjay is still backed up with a whole bunch of work and stuff since he's moving into the new place and stuff. But I followed up with him on the logo stuff because he's still working on it. But around the time when I asked him, he was still busy in commission. So I guess we'll see when that comes up. All right.
Okay. All right.
So he's still working on that concept. And all right. So next week we will be back with Down with BMP, the Blackmore podcast. And I suggested next week that we go into an instant classic. We gonna do because I don't think we've done this yet. We about to go into some Time Force.
Yeah, no, we haven't done Time Force yet.
All right, so we're going to Time Force next.
All right, Time Force. All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump up into some of that Time Force stuff. So other than that, any final notes?
LaShawn, do better.
Yeah, LaShawn, if you ever get another opportunity to do something else, man, you just gotta do better. Like I saw the background of his interview and stuff like that, and he even said he not fully like down with anime like that. Like he hasn't watched live back in the day, but he feel like he could bring some culture at XYZ, and I'm like, bro, you are failing.
Oh no! Oh, just stop.
Yeah, you are. We need to have other people take on this ranks. Who's other black people who are ready in the industry to drop some quality? Because I think now more than ever, we need a breakout black anime now that we have cannon busters and stuff like that. We need a concept that comes in with full force for black anime to start getting serious, because now we're starting to have joke being put. Like we need something that hit levels 9s and 10s be out of magic creative spots. Right now we've dropped the ball too hard now.
We need a Dragon Ball Z, a Yu Hakusho level anime.
Yeah, we need it in concept and strength and popularity, because we need something to break out, because right now we are looked at as a joke. I mean, Studio Mappa, even as good as they had it, I mean, they sent over their B team for this anime, and that should already tell you enough of how they feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they sent over their B team. That already proves off the bat that it's like, all right, so they obviously lowballed this.
Mind you, their B team did their thing, but
yeah, definitely. But it already tells you right off the bat they saw this concept and they said Black Samurai, just send it to you.
Right, and they probably would have maybe they saw the whole thing.
Oh yeah, they probably saw the script and it was like
yeah.
Because before anything animated and stuff, you gotta see the script. So they saw that shit and it was like, Mex 1582. What the fuck is this? They probably clown LaShawn and it was like, you know what, we'll just tell them we said our best, and it was really
I definitely see that happen. They probably like, what?
And then there was some complaints about Lakeith's voice acting during the thing, but I'm gonna be honest, the way how the anime turns Yasuke and stuff like that, he was a very like subdued and docile person, and Lakeith has played that before, so I think Lakeith did a great job like showing off the concept, because it's not like Yasuke in the anime was never shown to me as a like a rage-filled person, so you don't need anybody yelling or nothing like that. So him doing the voice for Yasuke, I thought was perfect. Fine.
Yeah, I had no problem with the voice acting of Yasuke.
Yeah, people complaining about his voice acting skills not being there, and I'm like, he was a subdued, docile samurai. I didn't see the concept of needing anybody else but Lakeith. Lakeith did a great job being a calm, subdued, like I'm like Ronin warrior. I mean, like that's kind of
what did they want? Because what did those people want?
This guy was the perfect character, because Lakeith plays a lot of, like, he just played that guy in Judas and the Black Messiah who was the traitor to them all. Lakeith is playing these characters that are very freaking docile, that you're getting pissed off that the fact that they're docile. Look at his character and fucking Get Out.
I'm like, if you have don't have a problem with Tom Trade, Yasuke. He played the character as they gave to him.
You saw the script and he did it exactly what it needs to be. Because if anybody else saw the script and saw Yasuke yelling as a black man, or he wasn't taking none of this shit anymore, they would have casted a whole other person.
Yeah, I'm like, for that, your beef is with the writer of that character.
If you wanted Yasuke to be a revolutionary, you should have called Daniel Kaluuya. and wrote exactly. So there you go. So that was my 2 cents on the voice acting, because a lot of people was commenting to Lakeith, and I was like, nah, you gotta let Lakeith rock on this one. Even though Lakeith is picking up all these roles that are just like, he is having a way with the black community. That man is playing roles of either a smart philosopher or a traitor that's just pissing people off. He did so good in that Judas and the Black Messiah movie that people are just pissed off at him in general, more than the actual guy who actually did it. That's how good he been. So, he been picking some characters now. But since that's all we got for this week, we way over the 2-hour mark. We was chatting. We had a lot to chat about. This has been a really good chat. Always a good time with you, bro.
Always appreciate, bro. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, facts. Everything. This is definitely one of our longer episodes, but it's definitely stuff that we had to have said. So on that point, thanks everybody for joining us today. From Black Thought to Nerd Power, this is Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow,
and the man who's gonna have plot a plan.
Yeah, plot a better script. Plot a better script.
Looking for you, LaShawn, with this story,
bro. Shit. All right.
And this was another edition of the Blerd by Nature podcast.
Bro, we are out.
Time,
Yo, peace.